What is going on, everybody? Tunji again from Ceasar Graphics. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and remember to ring that bell so you will be notified when I post my tutorials. Welcome to my how to use background series, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this simple poster and what to consider before jumping into any poster projects. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. Before going into my slide, I need you all to know that successful design describes the content fully and as simple as possible. So I have some tips here that will guide you when coming up with good designs. So color is one of the key ingredients in modern design. Color contrast has the same potential for communicating hierarchy as typeface, type weight and size, or placement contrast. It can be used to highlight elements of importance. It should be used in the same way the type size is used, to emphasize importance, not decorate the page. Typography are pictures of words. Abstracting type is one of the ways to create visual interest. The unexpected and memorable composition happen when typography do the extra work and convey an idea. Balance is an important aspect of visual communication. There are two kinds of balance: symmetrical and asymmetrical. Symmetrical balance centers on a vertical axis. Asymmetrical balance does not look the same on both sides. Centered element creates passive white space, while asymmetrical position elements create activated dynamic space. Before using any of them, you need to understand the project. A wedding ivy should not look like a corporate poster. I'm going to put all that is on my slide to a test with this design sent to me by one of my creatives group member during our design review. Good design is to create unexpected solution. Design is simpler when you remember it is a process, not a result. So before working on any design project, define the problem you have been given. Know the material, digest it fully, at the very least, read it. So I'm going to be using two applications to achieve this project. I'm going to be using Illustrator and I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop. So let's jump straight into the project. Okay, so like I said previously, that you need to know the material. Okay, so before working on this project, I decided to do my research, and I used the Bible to do this because it's a church poster that we're about to work on. And I realized that the perfect example for this project is Joseph, because Joseph was a prisoner and later became the right-hand man of the king of Egypt. So because we can't use the picture of Joseph and the king, so I decided to use this image to depict what the story of Joseph is about. And so like I said, that abstracting the type is going to give your project visual interest. So I decided to create this, all right, and I'm going to be using Adobe Illustrator to create this drawing, and I'm going to put everything together here in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to click on File and I'll select New. And so for this project, we don't really need to give it name. So I'm only going to change the width to 900 and my height is going to be 900 the way I have it here. And I'm going to just click on the Create button. So I'm going to select the text tool. I'll paste the text on my screen. I'm going to start with the level. Okay, so I'm going to scale this big like so. And the font I'm going to use is going to be Futura. Alright, so I'm going to change this to uppercase. So I'm going to add space here like so. In order to make this uniform, so I'm going to be using the width of my type to draw the stairs. Start from here, from the one here. So what I'm doing is I'm holding up Alt as I drag to make duplicates of the stairs. I'm going to bring on the ruler with Ctrl R, or you can go to View and select Ruler here. Drag this down like so. drag this down here just like so. So this should be here, okay, and this should be here. So I'm going to click on this. So this is going to hold everything together. So I'm going to check the align to selection, and I'm going to click on vertical distribute center. I don't think I need the guides anymore, so I'm just going to go to view, and I'll go to guides and say clear guides. Okay, so I'm going to move this back like so. Type change case uppercase. So the next thing I'm doing now is to expand my text so as to be able to take it to Photoshop. So I'm going to click on this, click on drag on it, and I'll go to objects, expand, and I'm just going to select OK. So I'm going to weld this like so. Okay, so let's go straight to Photoshop. So I'm going to open Photoshop and create a new document. So I'm going to make my width 800 and my height 800 because this is going to be on social media, and my resolution is going to be 72. Color mode is RGB, and my background is white. All right, and I'm going to call this higher level. Okay. All right. Now, so I'm going to drag in my background image. So I'm going to drag that and drop here. I'll scale this big like so, and I'll flip this way, and this here, just make it big. So we need to make the image fill the background, so I'm going to call this HL. So I'll right click and rasterize, and I'll click on the rectangle mark with 2. All right, and I'll draw a rectangle shape like so. I'll go to edit, and I'll select content aware scale. So I'm going to drag it up like so. All right, so I'm going to hit Ctrl D on my keyboard to deselect it, and I'll do the same thing here again. Edit, content aware scale, and I'm going to drag this out like so. So the next thing I'm doing now is to create my guides. So I'm going to click on new guide layout. So for this project, I'm going to use 2 columns because the information on this design is not too much, and my row is going to be 2 columns also. Okay, so Gouda is going to be 20 pixels. I'm going to use 40 pixels for my margin. I'm going to be using asymmetrical balance for this project. So I'll go straight to Illustrator, and I'm going to copy my drawing, which is this. So I'm going to copy the level and I'll paste it. So I'm using the shape layer option because I want to be able to change the color of my drawing here in Photoshop. So I'm going to click OK. So I'm just going to position this anywhere for now. I'll go back to Illustrator. All right, so I'm going to change the color of the 2 shapes to white for now. All right, and I'm going to position this here, just like so. I'm going to name them. So I'm going to call this higher, and I'm going to call this level. Okay, and this should be here, like so. I'm going to bring the name of the minister. So I'm going to paste it here and change the color to white. Space. Put space here. So the font I'm using is called the Coruscant Bold, and I'm going to change this to a lighter. So So make this bigger. It should be here. And I'm gonna make the ministrant smaller. Okay. So this should be here. And so, and I'm gonna make this out. And just close the spacing a little bit more. Okay. And so this should be here. So this is gonna be the first thing that people will see, and this will be next. And I want my date to be the next after the title. So I'm gonna make this big and I'll position this here. So the next thing we're doing now is to add colors. So I'm just going to click on this. So the color I'm going to be using is going to be from the project, and I'm trying to. So what I want to do is I want to create a connection between this chess piece here and the level. So what I'm going to do now is to pick my color from the chess piece. So I'm going to select the shape tool and I'll go to the fill option here, then double click on the color picker icon, and I'm going to pick a color from here. Just pick the light tone here. So I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and so we are going to create repetition on the picking of the color. So you know what, let me just drag this here. So if I hit Control, let me move this down. Okay, so now if I hit Control H on my keyboard to hide my guides, this is what we have. I still need to add more drama to this. So like I said, that typography is pictures of words. So I need to create a movement with the title, because so there are some steps you're supposed to make before getting to the higher level. So how do we apply that here? So what we are going to do is I'm going to move this down. All right, and I'm going to shift select the name of the minister with the title. So I'm going to bring out free transform, and I'll right click and select skew. I'm just going to move this way. I'll move this here. So if I bring out the guides, and okay, so there's one other thing I always like to do again to in order to make my project look more real. So I'm going to add noise to this. So I'm going to hold on Alt and click to create a new layer, and I'm going to call this noise. So I'm going to select the soft light blend mode, and I'm going to select fill with soft light neutral color 50% gray, and I'm going to select OK. So I'll go to filter noise and select add noise. All right, and I'm gonna make this go higher like so, and I'm gonna check the monochrome option here. Okay, and I'm gonna select OK, and this is the final project. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. So if you have not subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and remember to ring that bell so you will be notified when I post my tutorials. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Peace.